Hey girls, women, I'm live to chat about fasting for women. So, this book, you might have seen it already, heard about it, especially if you are into intermittent fasting. So, this new book by Dave Asprey, Fast This Way, Burn Fat, Heal Inflammation, and Eat Like the High Performing Human You Were Meant to Be. Now, hey, James, and someone else whose nickname I'm having troubles pronouncing. So on this specific episode or live stream, we're talking about fasting for women. I'm a female, I'm a woman, and it took me a while to actually come to terms or accept this fact that a lot of things that work for guys that I want to do, they just don't work for my body. And that includes fasting. Some guys can do like one meal a day forever, and that's totally fine for them. Or no carbs and carnivore diet, or I love experimenting with stuff, but a lot of things don't work for me. And how do I know that those things don't work for me? So girls, how do you know when fasting, if you are into fasting, so how do you know that it's not working for you? Well, I have a few notes here, and this from my personal experience. I've gone through probably all of these side effects of fasting. Also from my experience with the ladies that I coach, women that I work with, a lot of my women athletes and non-athletes want to do fasting, either for easier weight management or for longevity purposes, or to just make healthy eating more convenient and spend less time preparing and cooking and thinking about food, right? So for many reasons, women want to try fasting too. And so many of them notice these side effects as well. So what are the side effects, and when do you know that you might be fasting too much, or the whole fasting schedule is like too much for you, it's too restrictive, too stressful for your body? So number one, sleep quality, and they're not in any sequence of importance or how they show up. It's just something that shows up consistently for a lot of women, for guys too, but that usually comes later. And guys in general can tolerate more fasting than women without side effects. So for women, when do you know when it's too much? Sleep quality. Like if you can't fall asleep, if you start waking up in the middle of the night, if you wake up and you feel like you haven't really slept that well, like you don't have that much energy and you feel like you'd rather stay in bed, and your whole sleeping experience feel like it's light sleep, like you didn't have a good quality deep sleep. So if that's consistent and you've been fasting for a while, that might be one of the signs that you might be fasting too much for your body. It means that your stress hormones are elevated and just a lot of things happening that doesn't allow your body to rest properly. So sleep quality, energy and mood. So if your energy now is always down, you don't feel like working out or acing this workout, you always feel like you are struggling to get through your day. Your mood also more down than up, and your emotional health and balance isn't there really, like you're just feeling off most of the time. So that also is an indication that your fasting schedule or whatever you are doing with your diet might not be working for you. The next one, periods, of course, let's talk about that. If all of a sudden it becomes erratic, you have it, sometimes you do have it, sometimes you don't, that means probably your fasting schedule isn't exactly working for you. So period. Hair and skin. Personally, what I experienced, I started to lose hair here, and now they're all growing back, but even now, I still don't have as much as I used to have. So now it's getting back, but it's taking time for my body. But that's how, one of the signs, like your hair start getting thinner, or you start to losing them in certain like spots on your head. Your skin, either too dry or too oily, or not like the usual good condition that you are used to. So hair, skin, that also is an indication that something might be up with your hormones, and fasting might be messing up with that. So to sum it up, if you're experiencing sleep problems, if you started to experience energy problems, like, you know, it feels like it's never enough, your mood, you know, is mostly down or up and down all the time, your period is erratic, you know, it's not on schedule, it's just like a mess, and then your skin, your hair, those are indications of the fact that you might be overdoing fasting. You know, in general, guys, like with fasting, for women, if we sum it up, it's all about more isn't better. Have my coffee here. So how do we address it? Like, if you want to do fasting, but the way you're doing it might not be working. So a few things to try to fast less. So make your eating window larger. So if you've been fasting for 16 hours and you don't have anything in those 16 hours of fasting, no calories at all, and that might be too much for you to do every day. So what you might try is to have like 12 hours, 12, 13 hours. Or you might also try to do that 16-hour fast every other day, like maybe 3 days a week. That will still bring you benefits, but also will help you to balance out your hormones, especially your stress hormones that will affect your period and all the other health markers. I've been talking a lot, so a little bit dry. Anyhow, so less, like fast less, eat more, the window, every other day. So for example, again, instead of doing fasting, prolonged fasting every single day, do it every other day. So maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you do fast for 16 hours, and then the rest of the days you eat in a 13 to 14 hour window, or fast for 13 to 14 hours and eat in a bigger window, right? Like 12 hours or 10 to 12 hours. So what else do I have in my notes? You might add something like bulletproof coffee. If you aren't familiar with the concept, bulletproof coffee is basically when you mix MCT oil, that is a extract of coconut oil that is specifically good for our brain, for our body to get energy from, much easier than coconut oil that it's derived from. So teaspoon of coconut oil, teaspoon of grass-fed all natural butter. You blend it with hot coffee. Blending is important, and you're drinking in the morning in those 16 hours of fasting. Try that. Adding some calories might help you to might help your body to not be so stressed about your fasting, and your hormones might normalize because of that. So bulletproof coffee. What else do we have here? You might also try fasting for 24 hours every week, or maybe a couple of days a week, and the rest of the week you just do normal, more normal eating pattern when you eat in a 10 to 12 hour window and fast for just 12 to 14 hours. What else? You can do once a week fast. That also will bring you a lot of benefits without possible side effects, like, again, messed up hormones, messed up periods, sleep quality, energy levels, mood, hair, thinner hair, skin problems. So again, fasting for women, more isn't better. So those are the ways how you can fast less. So every other day, once a week, or just having a bigger eating window every single day. And in general, girls, females, just listen to your biology. Like, if on some day you're really hungry, you aren't feeling like this is the day to fast. By the way, guys, feel free to ask questions about female fasting, how you can do it better, maybe some issues, problems you are having. So just listen to yourself. And if on some day you really feel like this is not the day to fast, then maybe be a little bit kinder to yourself and fast on some other day. Who knows what you might be going through, your body might be going through. If you are someone new to fasting, then for females, definitely not recommending to start fasting like some hardcore 1 meal a day or even 16-8 kind of fasting every single day. So you want to ease into that. What that basically means is, for example, if you are on a standard American diet or standard crap diet, basically eating whatever, whenever, then what might already be beneficial for you is not to start some fasting that's going to be really stressful for your body at first. What you want to do is you want to start eating without snacks, eating whole foods, only without, all the weird processed foods, added sugars, added a lot of salt, added preservatives, and added like unhealthy oils. So the first step is to stop snacking and start eating whole foods, like 3 meals a day. That's going to be a huge step already, right? So we are easing into fasting. Then what you might do is stop having food 3 hours before bed. It seems to be the golden window when we really shouldn't be eating, but preparing our body for sleep, for recovery, to help our body to detoxify, to rebuild itself during the night. And that also will contribute to better quality of sleep. So that's the next step. 3 hours before bed, no food. And then build up to 12 hours. So if you don't eat 3 hours before bed, let's say you finished eating by 7 p.m., the next time you eat your breakfast, it should be in about 12 to 13 hours. I mean, if you are kind of like on a normal schedule, that will happen automatically. If you finish your food by 7 p.m., you're going to be having your breakfast no earlier, most probably than 7 a.m., 7, 8, 9 a.m., right? Like, there are very few people who need breakfast at like 6 a.m., right when they wake up. But sometimes you do need to even build up to those 12 hours. So again, first, no snacks, 3 meals, whole food meals. That's going to be the first thing for the first 30 days. Then 3 hours before bed, no food, and try to build up that 12-hour no food window. 3 hours before bed, you have your dinner, then you sleep, and that 12-hour window, that's going to be our no food window. And then after that, if you feel like you need more, you would like to try more, maybe start building up 1 hour by hour to that fasting window. Maybe now you fast for 12 hours with 3 hours before bed, and then add 1 hour, 13 hours, and then see how it feels, then 14 hours. Maybe in that prolonged no breakfast window, you can have something like bulletproof coffee that we talked about, and Google it, all the information. There is too much detail to explain here, but maybe you're going to have something like that that's going to give you your body and your brain a little bit of energy and lower your stress hormones that might be down the road triggering a lot of negative stuff, like again, hormonal imbalances, period imbalances, sleep quality, and energy and mood affected in a negative way. So you might start having bulletproof coffee in the morning, and then breaking your fast with food at 12 p.m., having lunch, maybe some sort of smaller lunch / dinner in the middle of the day, and then dinner, like finishing by 7 p.m., and then you have 3 hour window again. And so you build up little by little. And no matter what age you are, girls, women, it's going to be different for each of us at different stages in our lives. So somebody says, you should do this when you are like in your 30s, you should do this when you are 40s, then you should do this when you are pre-menopause or in menopause. But the truth is, it's different for everyone. I've worked with women in all ages, 30s, even 20s, pre-menopause, after 40s, menopause, like somewhere in between. And what I can tell you is different things work for different women, and it doesn't matter how old they are. So listen to yourself and start slowly. Don't start the hardest fasting window right away. That's not going to be good for your hormones. You might lose your period, your hair, your skin might not look that well. You might lose your sleep and your energy and your mood. So start slow. And if you are into intermittent fasting, remember that more isn't better. And if you're having those problems, it might be that you took it too far. And also, when it comes to training, if you are an athlete, if you are training a lot, a lot of fasting on top of that isn't a good idea. At least not on fasting days. If, for example, today you're doing the fast, any kind of fast, like 1 meal a day or similar kind of fast, then it might not be a good idea to do super intense, hard workout. You might do it on the days when you eat more food. That makes more sense and will create a less stressful environment for you. So if you decide to go all out in your training today, this day, then don't practice a lot of fasting. Eat, your meals. And then when you don't want to do a lot of training, you can do things like yoga or walking, then that's when you probably might want to try more fasting. And again, you, instead of doing it every day, you might start every other day, once a week. Different things might work for you. Remember that we can all be flexible and you don't have to follow somebody's rules. And just because it works for your boyfriend or husband or your other half, it doesn't mean that it's gonna work for you, because women are different from guys. How much? A lot. So not just in appearance, but in all the other internal processes. So accept this, be grateful for this, and work your way around that, because at the end of the day, the purpose of life is not to fast more, but to feel amazing. And so fasting might help, but it also might break some things when taken to extreme or done not in the way that suits you, that is good for you. So that's it for today. I just wanted to record this longish video about women and fasting. When you're watching it, please do comment, ask questions. If you need any advice, any tips about intermittent fasting, different kinds of fasting, 16-8, 5-2 fasting, mimicking diet, every other day fasting or alternate day fasting, keto fasting, bulletproof fasting. I'm also getting certified. I've been working with intermittent fasting people for a long time, but now I'm getting my certification as an intermittent fasting coach based on all the science and the best strategies. So also, if you need some coaching, please let me know. But ask questions, guys. Girls. Today is all about women and girls. So ask questions, and I'm sure there is some sort of fasting that can bring you benefits. So comment, ask your questions. And by the way, I'm doing my fasting mimicking diet for the next 3 days. So stay tuned for my stories where I'm going to be posting all of my food, and probably tomorrow I'm going to make a longer video about that too. Till then, guys, girls, women, be flexible with your fasting. More isn't better. And have an awesome weekend. Maybe do some fasting. And again, forgot where to stop this video.